Hello, awakening soul conscious beings. So recently I had a birthday. It wasn't one of those big milestone birthdays, but something about this birthday brought to the surface of my awareness a lot of noise from my ego. My ego had certain expectations that I haven't attained or met. And as a result, my ego really gave me a thrashing. Really cruel, unkind, and normally I'm able to keep the ego in balance and in check. But something about this birthday just let the ego get the best of me. And it made me realize that we all go through periods like that. Sometimes unexpectedly, sometimes suddenly, sometimes it's a slow onset. But whether you are faced with a sense of exhaustion or a sense of hopelessness, I want to give you at least a little bit of relief. For this meditation, I want to encourage a few accompaniments. First, if you like stones or crystals, I'm going to be working with aventurine, which is very calming and soothing. You could also work with blue agate or even aquamarine. And if you don't have any stones or crystals, that's absolutely fine. You're also going to do a little bit of simple aromatherapy. Today I'd like to work with lavender. Lavender is the go-to essential oil for calm, but it can also help us to focus by soothing the mind chatter. And finally, today we are also going to be working with an energy point. It's an acupressure point called the yin tongue point, and it's located between the eyebrows. So to get us started, I'd like to invite you to take a little bit of your lavender or other calming essential oil if you have it, and if you don't, just join me with the acupressure point without it. If you have the essential oil, dip your index finger into some of that oil, and then right between the eyebrows, with or without aromatherapy, let's make a clockwise motion several times right between the eyebrows. Beautiful. And this point here helps to relieve us of some of the mind chatter. I would also like to encourage you, if you have a stone, to go ahead and hold that stone in your left hand, receptive hand, a hand that's a little more open to allowing in and receiving energy. I invite you to close your eyes and join me for some breath and awareness. We are going to practice Viloma breathing. And for this breathing exercise, we will do a 3-part inhale. So breathing in for approximately 2 counts, pausing, breathing in 2 more counts, pausing, a final breath to the top with a slight hold, and then a slow 8-count exhale through the nose. I invite you to go ahead and close your eyes. Empty all the air from your lungs. And let's breathe in for a count of 2. 1, 2, pause. Inhale more. 1, 2, pause. Final inhale. 1, 2, hold at the top. Nose exhale for 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, nose, 1, 2, pause. Inhale, 1, 2, pause. Final breath to the top, and pause. Exhale, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 1, 2, pause. 1, 2, pause. Final breath to the top, pause. Exhale, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 1, 2, pause. 1, 2, pause. Final breath to the top. Hold. Exhale, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Just let your breath return to normal. The other day I was thinking about timeouts. When kids get in trouble, sometimes they are given a timeout. Really, a timeout doesn't have to be about punishment or being wrong. We as adults sometimes need a timeout. If for nothing else than to acknowledge that it is okay to not feel okay sometimes. And in the acknowledgement that it's okay to not feel okay, we can take some pressure off of ourselves. We can release some guilt or self-blame for not feeling good. And I want to allow us to move into the next phase of our meditation, acknowledging if you do feel hopeless or exhausted, that is absolutely valid and okay. And pretending that you don't feel that way doesn't necessarily make it go away. In acknowledging any pain or disappointment or frustration that we feel, I want you to take a deep breath into any awareness of that pain or frustration or disappointment or hopelessness. And a big sigh out the mouth. Let that layer go. I want you to observe your body. Where do you feel that heaviness or stuck energy of hopelessness or exhaustion in your body? Take a deep breath into that part of the body and a nice sigh out the mouth, letting it go. Take another deep breath into that part of the body and a big sigh out, let it go. Now I want us to breathe into the mind, the emotions, the beliefs. These are all part of one layer of your being. Take a deep breath in to any hopelessness, exhaustion within the mental part of your being. Mind, beliefs, emotions. Sigh out, let it go. And then I want us to breathe into our energy bodies. This includes our chakras, meridians, aura, spine even. Take a deep breath in, first into the spine, let the breath continue out through the meridians and out into the aura, and a big sigh out to release. And let your breath return to normal, in through the nose and out through the nose. Just for a moment, we are going to allow the temporary layers of our being to slowly dissolve, one layer at a time. If it helps, a little trick is to tell your ego and your logic mind that you can pick up the hopelessness, worry, stress, and exhaustion in just a few moments. Before this exercise, you are allowing that to dissolve away. First, I want to invite you to imagine, or even connect with what it feels like to feel external sources of pressure and stress that might be contributing to what you're feeling. Imagine that all of that is temporary, and that, like water vapor, it just sort of dissipates, dissolves, fades away. And if it's helpful to take a sigh out as a sign of releasing the external layers, please do so. Remaining perfectly still, imagine that your body itself could completely dissolve away. Remembering that the body is temporary. Just allowing that temporal body to evaporate away, like the fog when the sun comes out. And then imagine that your mind, emotions, beliefs, your entire mental being somehow could just dissolve. Not your soul consciousness, but your human way of perceiving things and the emotions that you feel in your humanness. You can always pick them up later. Just in this moment, the temporary human consciousness dissolves. Perhaps taking a breath in and sighing out to release it. And all you are left with is your true soul essence. Not the ego telling you you should do this or you should do that. Not the logic mind telling you how things should work out logically. Not the emotions, perhaps pushing you and tossing you like the waves of the sea. Not the body, which does its job well but is prone to pain, aches, injury, illness. You are pure soul consciousness energy. And this part of you outlasts the body. This part of you is not influenced by emotion or circumstance. This is truly who and what you are. For those who are more sensitive to subtle energies, Observe if your pure soul consciousness energy has a specific color or colors, textures, vibrations, or any other sensations that go along with it. When the temporal dissolves, or at least calms and fades into the background, you're more readily able to hear what our soul consciousness essence is actually saying. In this moment, I ask your soul consciousness to give you a word of hope or guidance, especially if you've been feeling exhausted or hopeless. Take a moment to feel that sensation, word, or phrase from your soul consciousness. When you are ready, I want to invite you to open your eyes. I want to thank you for joining me in this meditation. Getting those layers that are temporary to soothe and fade into the background is such a good way to remember who and what we truly are. If I can ever be of service to you, please do not hesitate to reach out. Have a beautiful rest of your day.